Here's your host, Clay Nelson.
Hey, welcome. This is Clay Nelson Live Balance Hour on KZSB AM 1290, your News Fest radio station. Now, this is a call-in show, so I want you to call in locally 564-1290 or long distance for free, 866-1290. So 866-564-1290. Or you can email me, and there's some emails coming in already. Email me at clay@mediasb.com. Now, today we're live streaming, and you can go to claynelsonlifebalance.com /watch, WATCH. And you can sign in and send emails, and we can talk live on the air, or you can just watch us live right on the net. So that's another way to go. So now, I had a topic that I was going to talk about to go along with what we've been talking about lately, but I've changed the topic. So this show is going to be spontaneous, in your face. And the name of the show, as I think it ought to be, is called Managing Unexpected Change. Managing unexpected change. Now, some of the things I want you to think about is you come home and you've been married for, 20, 22, 23, 24 years. You come home and your wife looks at you and says, I don't know why, but I don't like you anymore. And you're going, okay, what do you think we ought to do about that? Nothing. And you go, okay, what should I do? Should I just wait, or should I be upset, or should I get involved or take you to a doctor or a hospital or whatever? She goes, no. And I go, well, that's interesting. Okay. Or how about this? You read the newspaper and everything's going along just fine. And all of a sudden you look at your investment portfolio and you're down 30% overnight. Gee, that kind of shakes you up a little bit. Okay. Or you go to a doc and you've been spending your life getting healthy and you've lost a whole bunch of weight. You've been exercising, you've been doing things good, and you don't drink anymore, and you stop doing all the illicit things you're not supposed to do that you do when you were a kid, and now that you're a cool adult, you can't do anymore. And all of a sudden your diabetes is back. Like, where did that come from? Okay. Or let me see, what other changes can happen? You go out and start your car and the battery's dead. Or how about this? You ride your Harley for a while. Next thing you know, you have a hard time getting your leg up over the Harley to get off of it because you're stiff, Or how about this? You find out about arthritis and you're in your 60s and all of a sudden your fingers are having a hard time working. So unexpected change. Think about that now, all right? There's a tremendous amount of change going on in the world. I mean, look at what's going on in the financial markets. Look at what's going on with the federal government. Look what's going on with the bailout procedures of all the different financial markets. Look what's going on in the housing industry. Look what's going on in the construction industry. I mean, if you want to get depressed, now would be an easy time to do it. You know what I mean? So think about this. So what do you do? How do you handle this? So today's show is all about how to manage not only change, but change that surprised you. It's like it's not supposed to be happening. It only happens to the other guy. Okay, you got that? Okay, now I just got an email that says... let's see here. It says, what would you say to someone who recently and very unexpectedly lost their job, as in the case of my friend? So, and this is from Beth. And Beth is saying, so Beth, I got to tell you, a lot of times the only thing you can get out about an unexpected change is that there's something you're supposed to grow into. And you can either be depressed by it, or you can, pull up your bootstraps and say, okay, let me see now, where's the gold nugget in this? How can I make my life better? How can I move on to what's next? So it's all about your attitude. It's all about being unstoppable. And the key to this is you got to learn to ask for help, okay? You got to learn to ask for help in the changing how you think, and the changing or keeping yourself from becoming a victim. And you got to get into action. You got to keep moving. If you sit down and get into your head, you'll turn into a big pile of skin, roll over and die, and you can't do that. Okay, so gee, that was a quick email. That was really cool. Now, managing unexpected change. I mean, look at what's going on in the Gulf Coast. Look at what's going on in Galveston, Texas. Look at what's going on with the weather. I mean, it was predicted that things were going to happen, and some places didn't meet the predictions. Some places exceeded the predictions. Okay, some people actually evacuated. Some people didn't. The federal government wanted to make sure they looked good, so, man, they flat reacted, got things out there, people out there, water bottles out there, buses out there, all kinds of things. And a lot of it was an overreaction, worried about public image. I mean, I'd rather have them doing that and not, but, gee, can you get it? And I just read in the paper today about people are kind of disappointed because the polar ice caps didn't melt as much as they predicted they would. Well, that's a bummer. Let's get out there with some matches and melt it so it meets the prediction. I mean, think about that. And what about the gas prices? Gas prices aren't coming down. The cost of oil has come down from $160 a barrel to $93 a barrel. And now everybody's, sweating bullets, so they want to regulate how far they're going to let the oil come down. What do you think about that? In all the war zones, and all these are oil-bearing countries we're buying oil from or getting oil from through some other way. They're developing huge bank accounts of all kinds of money, but they want us to put our American dollars into their country to rebuild them in the war that they have. I mean, what is going on here, folks? I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little fed up with it all. Now, I'm 64 years old, been on the planet having a good time, paid my taxes, paid my dues, have a great business, have some real estate, have a declining investment portfolio, have a marriage that's being tested hormonally, have friends that are actually being upset with each other, have clients that have been partners in businesses for years that are fighting. It's like it's getting to a place now where the lawyers are the only people making any money. And ladies and gentlemen, this has to change. We have to stop beating each other up. We have to slow this train down and make sure you understand the only thing that matters is people. Money can't hug you, okay? Money can't hug you. People do. Family does. If you're in a place where all you've got going is distance between you and your loved ones, something's missing. And we got to change that, okay? The unexpected change that can address that is when something happens to somebody in your family and it's dastardly and it scares you half to death, or God forbid you lose one of them, you'll get real straight about what I'm talking about today. So if we are the only ones that have a say in how our lives turn out, when are we going to stop and say it? And it's time for us to all get together and stop and say it. Either you do it spiritually, or you do it inside the family at the dinner table, or you do it with the person standing in the line at the grocery store, or you do it whatever way you do it. But we have to start getting in touch with what's important. And ladies and gentlemen, we are important. It is us that makes this planet work. All right? It is us that, quite frankly, confuses this planet so it doesn't work. It is us that has to manage the change that's coming. And I haven't even brought it up yet, but guess what, guys? In a couple months, you got to vote. And then you got to be responsible for the votes you vote. So you got to start doing your homework. There's a whole bunch of things that have to start happening now. All right, one of them is I have to go on a break. So you're listening to Clay Nelson Life Balance Hour on KCSB AM 1290. When you get back here, we're going to start talking about not only about what other unexpected changes are going to happen, but who you have to be to manage what's coming, even if you believe it's not. So get on back here so I can just shake you up.